Hello, come in, sit down, and let me tell you how God birthed my pain into my purpose. Here's my story. As a young girl, I grew up in a loving family. My parents, they really never experienced any type of discord, and they really showed us how love was supposed to look like. The first time that I experienced any type of abuse was from the age of 9 through 13 by my first cousin. I was sexually molested. And I didn't tell anyone because I was told that this was an act of love by my cousin. And I didn't want to break up my family. So I held this secret in for as long as I could until the age of 38. So that was my first experience with a form of abuse. After my father passed, I found my father dead at the age of 21 when I was 9 months pregnant with my daughter, Miasia. After his death, I felt completely lost. I felt like I lost my best friend. And I started looking for love in all the wrong places. This is where I met my abuser. I thought that I met the man of my dreams. He was tall, he was charming, he was attentive, and at this time I had my daughter and I had my son. And in my head I was thinking, God, I finally found the right person to fill the void and the hole that was in my life of me losing my father. But I was so wrong. The first time I experienced physical abuse was when, well, let me take it back. When I first met him, he painted a story that I couldn't even imagine. He was just loving, charming, attentive. He loved my kids. Within a blink of an eye, my life turned completely upside down. It started with the mental manipulation. He would state, I couldn't do this right, or if I cooked food wrong, he would dog me out about food being done wrong, or if I looked at another person, he would say that I wasn't pretty, or he would compliment other women, or if it wasn't that, if I just left the toothpaste off of the cap, it would start an argument. Well, me being used to abuse when from the ages of 9 and 13, I thought that was an act of love. So I would do anything and everything that I possibly could do to ensure that the relationship would last. Because I wanted my dream. I wanted to be married. I wanted my children to have a father. And I thought that I could make this work. From the mental manipulation started the emotional abuse. He would play on my emotions, and not only my emotions, but my children's emotions. He would say things and to me that will crush my spirit. Like, for an example, he would tell me that I was never too good enough. Anything that I could possibly ever do would never be great enough. Or if I paid my children more attention than I paid him, he would get irritable and upset. There would be times that we would be driving and he'll punch the steering wheel because he is so upset that I wouldn't tell him where I was going, or if I would check on my son at the time in the car. But I thought that he would change. I thought the love that I had for him would make things easier and make things better. But I was completely wrong again. From the emotional abuse led to physical abuse. And not only that he abused me, he was so angry with me if I didn't answer the phone or if I didn't tell him where I was going, he would hit on my kids. And that was another form of him trying to punish me. I went through an abusive relationship with my abuser for 2 years. It got so bad to the point where if I tried to leave, he would let the air out of my tires. He would take my keys. He knew exactly where I was going before I even arrived to the location. Still to this day, don't know if he had a tracker on me. But wherever I went, he was there. The times that I tried to escape, I couldn't. I tried to love him through it. Until one day, we had a really bad argument. And the argument turned so bad that he tried to strike my daughter in front of me. And I remember my mother calling me the day before, and she said that she had a dream about me, saying that she attended my funeral. And I went straight into prayer, and I didn't know how I was going to get out of this relationship. It was so abusive. It was so toxic that for me to escape, or even for me to just go to work, I had to learn how to cover my bruises and my scars. I remember there were times that I would go to the MAC counter and buy all type of makeup. And if it wasn't MAC, it was Walgreens. And if it wasn't Walgreens, it was CVS. Because I still had to go to work and portray that my life was fine, my relationship was fine, and there was no sign of abuse. That's where I taught myself how to do makeup. And I didn't understand it then that makeup became my refuge and my safe space. I was just doing it just to make sure that no one knew that I was in an abusive relationship. That my busted lip or the bruises on my arms or the black eyes that I've had, no one could ever see it. One day, I was in my bathroom trying to get ready for work, and he woke up just in anger and threw everything off of the bathroom counter. Foundations went everywhere, powders went everywhere, because he wanted people to see me exactly for who I was, with just like the marks and bruises on my face. The day that I tried to escape, well, the day that I did escape, he went off to Georgia for something. And for the very first time, I heard the Holy Spirit tell me, you need to get up and you need to leave. I didn't know how I was going to get another apartment. I didn't know where the money was going to come from. But it was a man that was in the leasing office. And I thank God for this man, because he was there just for a week from Georgia. And I went into the leasing office and I was telling him that, hey, I'm in an abusive relationship. I'm trying to get out of the relationship and I need to move from one unit to another. He told me that he would help me. He said, you don't have to pay for anything. Just a unit became available and I need for you to try to, get a U-Haul so you can move all your items. At this time, for the past 2 years, 75 police reports were filed against my abuser. Nothing could stop him. Not Birmingham Police Department, not Hoover Police Department, nothing can stop him. So as I'm moving my items out of my apartment into the new unit, for once I felt safe. I felt peace. But I thank God for my family, because my brother taught me how to switch my cars. So if he would stalk me, he would know what vehicle I would be in. From the abuse, it led to several intense months of stalking. Me using different vehicles so I can get back and forth to work, for me to pick up my children from school, my son from daycare, or if it wasn't me just switching out vehicles, me trying to get rides from my friends for me to get from one place to another. At this point, I just wanted safety. Until one day, he called me. My best friend was at my place with me. And he called me, and he was trying to get me to come pick him up. He was saying that he was stranded somewhere. And my best friend was like, Jeddie, I saw him leaking air out of your tire. She said, if you leave, you will never be seen again. He was trying to get me stranded. And I think that would have been the day that I would have lost my life. Through all of my years of experiencing sexual abuse from my cousin, emotional, mental, and physical abuse from my abuser, I didn't understand the gift that God was birthing inside of me. I was really ashamed to tell my story, because I grew up in a family where things were kind of like perfect to me, to be honest with you. And I never thought that I would be a victim of any kind of abuse. So when God gave me the vision to start doing makeup, because I'm actually a self-taught makeup artist. So when God gave me the vision to start doing makeup, I didn't expect that I would touch so many women and start telling them bits and pieces of my story. For me doing makeup, it has opened up so many doors for me to help women. 2.5 years ago, God gave me the vision to birth G.L.A.A.M Cosmetics. And G.L.A.A.M stands for Giving Luxurious, Accessible, Affordable Makeup to all women. Because when I was going through my abuse, I had to pick up makeup at a CVS or Walgreens just to touch up. But what I realized is that when you're going through any type of storm in your life, you want to feel at your best. And G.L.A.A.M stands for that. So G.L.A.A.M Cosmetics is created for women of restoration through all walks of life. So what you're going to get from G.L.A.A.M Cosmetics, I would like for you to come on this journey with us as we grow, do community service, pour back into women, and just help women feel empowered and beautiful all the time. When G.L.A.A.M Cosmetics was birthed, I didn't expect for it to grow at the pace that it's growing and to reach thousands of women that's located in Alabama. Our goal is to touch every single woman within the United States and out of the United States, for us to be a nationally known brand. So what I did is I developed a product. I remember when I would be at work and I would have to run and pack on my makeup throughout the day to ensure that my bruises or my lacerations did not bleed through. One thing that I focus with G.L.A.A.M Cosmetics is, regardless of what you're going through in life, your makeup should not move. You shouldn't have to go back and retouch up your lip or your foundation or powders. I have created a product that will allow your makeup to last through the toughest days or even on the easiest days. It's for women who work every day, women who are being restored or going through restoration process. Glam Cosmetics is for young girls because, hey, they want to feel glam also. So come with glam as we build and restore women one foundation at a time. Thank you so much for hearing my story, and I would love to hear yours.